Right now on the screen you're seeing loot from 10,000 Sulphur Naguas. It's actually loot from 5,000, so I'm going to add in my own 5,000. So it's going to be 5k plus 5k. I needed a little bit of help because it was just so AFK that I just felt like, oh my god, I want to do something. Right? Varlamore is released and I'm just AFKing these things. So I just couldn't spend like another day just AFK these things. It's kind of slow. You can do like 280 KC an hour. So that means 10,000 would take you like 35 hours or so to do. So while the loot is looking good, especially if you're an Ironman, you may be looking at these ores like, oh my god, there's some nice coal, there's some tin, copper, there's some mithril, and silver and iron. So maybe this is one of the ways to get the ore, I guess. If you don't want to like jump around or hop worlds in the blast furnace, this could be one of the ways to get it. I mean, looking at this, it doesn't seem too bad. So in 5,000 KC, you got 8,000 iron ore. So that means if you combine it with me, it's going to be like 16,000 iron ore just by like AFKing something. So if you're thinking about doing some smithing and maybe like a cheaper way, you know, like not like gold ores or something on your Ironman, buying 16,000 iron could be annoying. You just, I'm not sure what the current meta is, but if you need iron and you hop in the blast furnace, if I had to buy 16k, bro, I would be pissed. But anyway, you see those unique drops, the weapons. Yes, when Varlamore was released, I looked up a lot of monsters and I saw, oh my god, these weapons are like 2 mil, and Wiki says that it's 1 in 500 chance to get them. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do these a little bit later because there are other activities that I want to do first, and Varlamore, you know, like Hunter and all that. And by the time I got to these monsters, the Sulphur Naguas, these things were below 300k. So it wasn't actually anything viable that you can get from them. You would do this maybe for a collection log, or maybe for an Ironman, for some reason you need this weapon. So the weapon itself is actually good against Naguas. I think it increases damage by 15%. It's like a very unique weapon, and it deals damage twice. So you swing once, but it deals twice because it's like double weapon. But unlike Tuareg's hammers, because it's also double, but they only deal 1 hit. So these are 2 hits. And there's a little bit of downside. If you're using like something like a Blood Amulet of Fury, every time you swing once, but because it's 2 swings in one, it will decrease the charges by, well, twice as fast. So instead of having 10,000, it's gonna feel like 5,000 charges only, because that's what it literally would be. Now, fortunately, in this place, you can actually fully sustain yourself, so you don't need the Blood Amulet of Fury. I was just praying for a melee, and it fully negates all the damage. So you can put in a cannon also in here, which is very nice because you actually kind of need DPS. You see, if you don't actually kill Naguas in 5 hits, or I guess they hit you 5 times, the 5th hit is gonna drain prayer by 5. Which is nothing too much, but if you're lower level, I don't know how AFKing would even feel like, because you would probably every single kill, potentially even multiple times, if you really cannot kill it in like 10 hits, your prayer will be drained more and more and more. But I didn't feel it as a main account. Cannon helps because, you know, even 1 extra hit, if it's like 20, that's already 20% of the HP is gone. Initially, I was using Darox because I thought, wait, I could try this out, right? So even though the weapon gives like bonuses, but Darox can also one-shot them. You can literally hit 100, and it was like, oh, this is actually decent XP an hour. I would die. I died like a couple times, and you know, that's not a problem, but you get these sulfuric essence, which you can trade in for runecrafting experience. So technically, if you really spend a lot of time in this place, you could collect so much sulfuric essence, and you can just turn it in for runecrafting experience. So you could just AFK combat and have 99 runecrafting, but it is extremely low experience, and it would probably take you like 1 year of non-stop AFKing these things. If we combine both of us, in 35 hours we got a little bit above 100k runecrafting experience, which ends up being like 3.5 thousand maybe XP an hour in runecrafting. So you gotta do those calculations if you're going for 99, you know. Holy cow, what if 1,000 hours, yeah, 1,000 hours would give you like 3.5 mil runecrafting XP. The thing with the sulfuric essence is that you cannot leave the room though. So if you die in any way, or if you accidentally leave the room, or I guess the dungeon itself, then those essence will just disappear. You cannot bank them, you can't even escape the dungeon with them. So because I was using Darox, I died a couple times and I lost all my sulfuric essence. but it happened only in the very beginning, so I just stopped using Darox because it just was not worth it. And the XP an hour was pretty much the same. So without using Pi-T, with those new sulfuric weapons, whatever they're called, I was getting 93,000 experience in strength. No Pi-T. Now that was me that I couldn't leave the dungeon because I wanted to turn in for a video as many essence as I can for that fat runecrafting experience drop. But if you can just leave anytime, like before leaving, just turn that in. And because of it, I couldn't use like normal food because, okay, if you run out of food, how do you get more food then? Because you have to bank, but you can't really bank. You can actually drop the sulfuric essence and come back and just pick it up. That works also. But also for like potions, super combat pots, what do? You just make your own potions inside the dungeon. Yes, there's like a way to make those, I forgot how they call it, Moonlight potions, I think. So not only does it give super combat stats, so all your stats go to 118, but it also restores prayer, which is more than super restore. So if you can make these potions, it's literally even better than the potions you would bring from the bank. And you don't lose all that sulfuric essence. I don't even remember my runecrafting experience. I know I slacked. I think I collected like 600 maybe sulfuric essence, maybe like a little bit above that. But he went all in. He picked up pretty much everything. 1,000 sulfuric essence, because it gives 5 experience per, gave him 54,000 runecrafting experience. But it's gonna take you like 16 or 18 hours for 54,000 XP drop. So it's very, very little. It's only a few thousand XP an hour. Okay, so I'm reading this a little bit more, and it seems that the blades don't actually have the 15% extra damage, and it seems that it comes from the 4 minimum damage that you get for each hit splat. So that's why it says it's so good to kill Naguas with fast hitting weapons. So maybe some like darts, because I'm guessing every single hit is gonna be +4. So does that mean the minimum is like 5? Because I actually did not really focus on that. It also seems that they are a Slayer monster that requires 48 Slayer to kill. Well, I guess that was the requirement, but come on, that's pretty low. I think most of you are going to have that. Initially, it showed as 1 in 500 drop rate, but it's now 1 in 450. So I should have received, what, 22 in total, but we received 26 in total. So pretty much on the drop rate. If you're curious about the sulfurous essence, you only get from 6 to 10. So the quantities are very low, and it's 1 in 32. Like I said, you can do like 280 KC an hour maybe. So this is not even 10 drops per hour, maybe 8 of them. But it's a very short drop table. Doesn't drop really that much. This is just a gem drop table. But everything is stackable. So that was nice that you didn't have to leave something behind, or because you cannot bank because you want to collect those sulfurous essence. Also, coming back to sulfuric blades, it says that their stats are nearly identical to Dragon Scimitar, trading 2 strength bonus for 5 more / accuracy. Although Scimitar, if you pair it with a defender, it is considerably stronger. So no, this is not better than a Dragon Scimitar. Oh, it is tier 55. Did I say 65 or 55 in the beginning of the video? It's 55. So I guess it makes all sense that it's not as good as a Dragon Scimitar, since it's lower tier. And the way you make the potion is collect a little bit of these grabbly saplings, then grab the herblore supplies, which are not going to be at the top, but you can always do swap, because you're going to keep needing these vials of water, because you just can't, but eventually it will allow, just like this. You crush these things. But one thing I noticed, I'm not sure if they fixed this, when you make the potion, if you examine it, it says that it should say that the high alch value is 600. I don't know the requirements to get in this place. Can you actually... Oh, okay, you cannot use... Okay, because I thought, it's like almost U longbows. Even Moonlight works with this potion. It says Divine Super Defense, but yeah, you get all the stats to 118. Good night.